At the moment, I do crypto investing, so I consider myself a crypto investor. And also, at the same time, my main focus for this year is to launch and grow multiple online businesses of my own.
Pues tengo un estudio de pole y fitness y organizo eventos de salsa y bachata. Bueno, recientemente empecé y pues el baile siempre ha sido mi pasión, trabajar con las personas, ayudar. El baile para mí es como una terapia en la cual trabajo con gente de todas las edades y hacemos comunidades con diferentes culturas. Hay gente de todo el mundo en Playa del Carmen.
We recently opened a company. We produce mobile apps with photo editing with AI models. Yeah, that's how we're making a living right now.
Currently is I work as an e-commerce entrepreneur and I'm part owner of an e-commerce business. We own multiple different product brands that we sell mostly on Amazon US. So how I got there was 4 years ago. I decided to leave a corporate job in the oil and gas industry that I had done for 10 years after I graduated college. I kind of came to the realization that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life and ended up, I call it early retirement from the corporate world. And luckily I had a really good friend from home that had been in the e-commerce space for the previous few years, and he invited me to learn some about e-commerce. And so I learned about supply chain and e-commerce for 6 months while I backpacked around Southeast Asia, Bali, Hong Kong, Singapore, and the Philippines. And the whole time basically learned e-commerce and learned supply chain. And after 6 months, I ended up taking over the whole supply chain group for the e-commerce business.
Trabajo para TikTok, soy gerente de contratos en TikTok. ¿Qué he hecho para llegar hasta allá? De todo, de todo. Estudié en Colombia, estudié en Francia, trabajé mucho tiempo como abogado en multinacionales francesas, sobre todo en la parte del lujo. Y pues encontré ese trabajo en una social media platform, en LinkedIn. Pasé algunas entrevistas en francés, en inglés, en español y pues al final me dieron el trabajo.
So actually I'm an entrepreneur in hospitality. So they actually do owning a Korean restaurant. Ta-da! And then of course I do some researching at the same time for virtual realities, augmented reality and artificial intelligence at the same time. So that's my field in the back.
So I run a company called The Process Hacker, and we help entrepreneurs and small business owners and freelancers be more productive, set powerful goals, create amazing habits. So, and I do a lot of coaching and whatnot. And then I got there by starting a blog, and the blog was called The Process Hacker. And from there, the blog grew, and now it's attracting clients.
Yo soy consultor de tecnología. Trabajo ayudando a desarrolladores o developers a crear pruebas de rendimiento y funcionales, y los entreno también.
Right now, my main thing is I have an agency, a digital agency. So I can build websites, WordPress websites, Wix funnels, anything like that. And I can also do digital marketing. So PPC, SEM, Facebook marketing, Facebook Business Manager, anything like that, digital marketing, web services.
I'm at the moment a host and facilitator of workshop for retreats, not just retreats, but in this very moment I'm collaborating with the Nomad Escape, and it's a retreat format for entrepreneurs, digital nomads and remote workers that want to take their life and business to the next level. We work a lot on personal development, professional development, and also spirituality and mindfulness. And beside that, I also do project management and event management.
Vale, soy arquitecta y diseñadora de interiores. ¿Y cómo llegué ahí? Ay, solo Dios sabe, yo no sé. Esfuerzo, creo. Y nada, lo estudié en la universidad.
Actually, I'm a salesperson at Microsoft. So I'm an account manager for small and medium businesses. How did you got at Microsoft? I think it's kind of like the random way how you get there. So I did an apprenticeship. I directly specialized in strategic sales in my master. I did an apprenticeship with IBM, which is also an IT company. And then I got hired at Microsoft after. It was the first interview actually I was doing after my apprenticeship, and it worked.
I'm a musician in Ireland, and I also worked in data and AI consultancy.
So I'm an AP engineer. I work for a tech company in France.
I'm a content strategist and growth marketer. I started working at Facebook and then I moved into an ad agency before going in-house and helping multinationals launch new products and services.
A través de hacer social media marketing, conseguir clientes por las redes sociales y manejar sus redes sociales. Y además también hago videos promocionales y videos artísticos enfocándome en emprendedores y en personas que quieren mostrar su arte. De esta manera consigo clientes en el camino, en el viaje, y asimismo también puedo ir viajando. Además de esto hago sound healing, música medicina, y a medida que voy viajando, voy ofreciendo esto a los grupos de Facebook que tienen un alto valor para compartir nuestros servicios, y así podemos conectar con más personas y también conectar con personas y ganar dinero.
Having a stable income to feel like I could travel around the world and not really worry about the money aspect. And for me, it took a few years to be able to get to that position where I could make a reliable and consistent income to do what I love.
Pues yo creo que lo más difícil fue la mentalidad con la que vivía. Creo que todo está en la mente. La forma en que uno se mentaliza es como salir outside the box, ¿no? Y abrirte a nuevas oportunidades, nuevos desafíos.
We didn't really have any challenges. We just wanted to become ones, and luckily at that stage of life we could afford ourselves to work remotely. And then with time we also decided to open our own business.
Transitioning like mentally from the corporate world, it's not just actually leaving, but going into a lifestyle where you're constantly on the move, and you go from a regular schedule where you drive to work, you work all day, and then you leave. When you do that for a while and then all of a sudden you have no schedule, it was a little bit challenging for me to really organize my work, especially while traveling and having to jump from place to place. So one of the things I really had to work on was creating a little bit of structure within like a very unstructured environment. And this is kind of like person specific, because some people really thrive when they don't have a schedule. But for me, I do like to have things like a little bit regimented. So while being a digital nomad, it's kind of just like you have to figure out where that right balance is. And so for me, it's kind of getting in a space where I can wake up at a certain, like the same time each day, work when I'm really productive, which is in the morning, in a space surrounded by other people, like a co-working space. And yeah, like getting that routine while traveling. So that was one of the challenges.
Yo creo que fue dejar París. Yo vivía en París por 10 años. Dejar mi vida en París, mis cosas, incluso la ropa, toda la vida material que tenía, y solamente contentarme y conformarme hoy con viajar con una maleta, que es lo que llevo haciendo hace 1 año, 2 años ya. Es eso, el desapego material. Yo creo en un punto que quieres simplemente vivir tu vida, tener la libertad, pero hay cosas, ataduras que siempre te dan ataduras o challenge o retos.
I think for me, the biggest challenge was finding a deep connection with people. So most of the time we meet a lot of like cool people all the time, and they are cool, they are fun, they're nice to have a great experience with. But then when you get out of the location, then you realize that, can I contact that person again? Then when we're going to meet that person again, and then the life keep going on, and it was like you lost the contact or somehow like that. It's really upsetting. So it's I think that sometimes it's give me a little bit of the feeling of like loneliness, and it's hard to get a deeper contact unless it's both sides have to have a certain kind of effort to connect.
Starting, like really, you got to just put yourself in a place and just figuring it out, like what do I gotta go, like stay, is there good internet, is there a good gym, just stuff like that, just the stuff of like, hey, taking action.
Pensar cómo ser eficiente con mi tiempo, y para poder hacerlo tuve que trabajar en mi comunicación con mi equipo y con los clientes con los que estoy dándole servicio.
Biggest challenge was leaving corporate and a nice cushy salary and taking the risk to go start my own business and build a team around it, do all the logistics, and organize the digital tools that I needed, like Slack, for example, and hosting and the sales channel to be able to sustain myself while I travel, and to pack all my things and close my apartment in New York to be able to be light on my feet and travel freely from place to place.
Was actually to find balance and stability when traveling, because for me, coming from a digital world, I already knew, I already have digital skills. I know how to make a living digitally. The problem is more the lifestyle. When you start traveling, especially when you haven't been to many places in this world that offers so much to see and I'm really curious about, you have this hectic behavior of willing to be a tourist, so going everywhere and visiting everywhere, but then you cannot really focus on your work, or if you do, then you don't have enough energy and your life starts to be a big mess. Therefore, for me, the biggest challenge was and still is partially how to find a proper work-life balance being a remote worker.
Renunciar a mi trabajo en Panamá. Fue súper difícil porque, man, es que no, o sea, ¿quién está pensando en dejarlo todo, donde tienes buen salario, donde tienes buena vida estable, y de repente irte a viajar, no sabe a dónde? Entonces yo creo que renunciar.
Challenge is to be able to get some customers while working remotely. Because I was working mostly with companies in Paris, still working mostly with companies in Paris, but who don't really allow to do remote work. So it was to shift from customer who do like in-presence work to remote working.
I'm from the UK and a lot of British companies don't really agree with remote workers. So that was the hardest thing, finding companies that actually wanted or were happy with remote workers.
Fue cuando tuve mi primer cliente, que fue allá en Chile, y este cliente estaba en la ciudad donde yo estaba y pensaba que solamente podía tener ese cliente teniéndolo en la misma ciudad, pero luego cuando tuve mi primer cliente de una ciudad a otra ciudad muy lejana, se me abrió mucho la mente y dije, wow, funciona, así puedo tener clientes a distancia sin la necesidad de que yo esté en la misma ciudad que ellos. Entonces esto me permitió tener más libertad y permitirme moverme a otros lugares sin la necesidad de estar donde están mis clientes.
I would learn what I call a high income skill, and that is something something to do with online marketing or sales. So that could be something like learning digital marketing, like Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, and then providing this as a service to other businesses. It could be email marketing, it could be social media growth or social media marketing.
No buscar comunidades que pues que están haciendo lo que yo quiero hacer, y el miedo a abrirme a nuevas posibilidades y conocer nuevas personas.
When you start creating a product, you think about the product, how it will look like. But what we've learned so far, what you should like first is like you need to find the need. If there exists the need for the market, if there is a demand, so you should analyze how many competitors are in your industry, and only afterwards you can create your product. Because we created few apps and then they were not so successful, and we realized actually the demand was not so high. So we just wasted like few months of our lives for nothing. I will recommend everyone to do the market research before starting any project.
Spend more time developing like friendships and being a part of a community of other like-minded people in the space, in the nomad space. Because, you know, even especially during COVID, but even before that, like I was in a phase where I really felt like I had kind of like gotten to a different level than friends from, you know, my previous life, you know, in the corporate world. And so I was having trouble like creating friendships and relationships with people that were doing similar things as me. But really the thing is, there is a vibrant community of nomads and digital workers, and you really just have to go find it. And it doesn't really have to be traveling. You know, there's other online communities where you can, you know, interact with people, such as, you know, Discord and like Instagram, social medias and stuff like that. So I think if I were to do it over again, like in the 4 years, I would have really made a stronger effort to get involved with those communities sooner.
Tiempo. Tomarse el tiempo para tomar las decisiones, no apresurarse, ser más paciente con los procesos que sean a su vez internos y a su vez procesos de las otras personas, porque yo creo que en realidad uno lo que necesita es tiempo y ser paciente.
Like finding a suitable business partner, that is very important. It's the same with when you're finding a co-founder or something. It's very important if you are about to open the business. So then if I ever have to redo it again, I think that there will be much of requirements in terms of compatibilities for the persons that I want to work with, in terms also like also for the characteristics wise, and also for the long-term visions for the project as well. It's very important so that you can share the same vision for the company, so then you wouldn't feel upset when you like cooperate with each other. So I think that is one of the things that when you do entrepreneur job, you have to have co-founder, and then you have to find a suitable one.
I would just start my blog earlier. So a lot of mistakes I made was like hiring the wrong people, like some very bad coaches, but just mainly with any with any brand that you're trying to build online, the earlier you start, and the more consistent you are, the easier it is. So I would have started way earlier.
No tenerle miedo a emprender desde temprano, o sea, 15, 16, 8 años. Saber cuándo pedir ayuda. Es muy importante. Hoy en día somos una sociedad, no importa qué equipo estés o qué comunidad eres, tienes que estar abierto a pedir ayuda.
Don't take time for granted, and to really follow your heart with what you want to do. I mean, so for me, the agency is a stepping stone to reach my goals, and my love is in arts and education. So my passion is making music and in theater and acting and doing workshops for team building, for people to connect with each other. And it's really a matter of finding things that allow you to get to where you want to be, but having specific goals. And I think in the past I was too ADD or too just, all over the place when it comes to being disciplined and accountable for reaching my goals and making the steps necessary to get to where I want to be in my life.
Honestly, nothing, because from the mistakes that I've made, I've learned so much that I would actually try to make more mistakes so that I could learn even more. But yeah, I don't know if there would be anything that I would actually change. Well, maybe I would take it slower. As I said before, I've been very hectic trying to visit a lot of places. I'm very happy that I actually did it, but I had very hard times finding this balance, and I was not living my best life, even though from my Instagram maybe you could have thought that my life was the best, but behind the scenes sometimes was too much.
Ahorraría. Eso sería como que me lo diría, porque yo gastaba mucho dinero en cosas banales como, mucha ropa, mucho pelo, muchas cosas ¿sabes? Y como que, ¿sabes? En esta vida también te das cuenta que solo necesitas tu maleta y poner un par de cosas y ya la tienes. Entonces es como experimentar esa vida más liberal, me gusta.
Work with the good people first, not trust too much people on the world. Maybe as a freelancer, I will start by not working as a freelancer, working in a kind of, I will say, in France we sell portage salarial company, so it's company who manage your company for you, and you are like a freelancer but not a freelancer totally. So you can still find your own customers, you can still find work as you want with your own project. So I think we'll do this way at first.
It'd probably be more with my actual businesses, and it would be working and collaborating with people as opposed to trying to do everything on my own.
En ese tiempo ya me hubiese intentado conseguir un dron, ¿sí? En ese tiempo. Y lo otro que hubiera intentado hacer es simplemente atreverme a ser yo mismo todo el tiempo, porque cuando tú eres siempre tú mismo, las cosas a ti llegan, y todo llega cuando tú eres auténtico.
You need to really know what you want. You need to identify the kind of lifestyle you want to live, and you need to identify how much money it's going to cost you to live this lifestyle. And you need to then know exactly how much you need to make in order to maintain this lifestyle. And of course you want, let's say if your ideal lifestyle costs you in total $1,500 a month, then ideally you wanna strive to make at least 5,000 a month, or at the bare minimum 3,000 a month. So it should be at least double your living expenses, so you have more money to either reinvest in your business or invest in other things, or as a backup just in case. And once you know exactly how much you need to make, then you need to start to learn different skills that I mentioned previously that will make you that kind of money, which pay very well. And once you learn those skills, you start offering it to multiple entrepreneurs, and you can get paid very well and learn and get more experience and then be more confident.
Pues yo creo que acercarse a las personas indicadas, a la comunidad como el Nomad Escape, que es algo pues que está ahorita, están atravesando todo el mundo, y unirse a ese tipo de experiencias que estamos viviendo aquí, porque pues te abre las oportunidades, los ojos, y conoces a mucha gente. Realmente es como un nuevo mundo, integrarte a una comunidad que te apoye en diferentes aspectos.
Trusting yourself and investing yourself, because you are like the best asset that you can have. And so, develop your skills, really work on things that you are really good at, that you enjoy doing, and trust the fact that you will always be able to find something that will be able to sustain you. It's like, that's one of the biggest fears that prevents people from becoming a digital nomad, is that they are so scared to give up what they have because they think that, their lifestyle will just go away, or they won't be able to make all the money that they made or whatever. But you really, you have the ability to, create the lifestyle that you want. And, it's kind of like the fear setting exercise, right? Like, what's the absolute worst that can happen? And in all likelihood, it's really, you're still totally fine. Like, you'll survive, you'll be able to get food and, have a place to live. And so just be comfortable with, the uncomfortable choices of, breaking out of your comfort zone a little bit, and really just have that faith in yourself and continue to invest in yourself.
Sé libre, sé paciente, curioso, no tenga miedo. En realidad no tengas miedo, porque esto es una comunidad de personas que son muy conscientes de lo que están haciendo. Entonces vas a estar recibiendo mucho amor todo el tiempo, vas a estar rodeado de gente interesante, inteligente. Entonces no tengas miedo, simplemente be yourself and be free.
I think the biggest advice that you have to get yourself ready for a lot of challenge, but of course a lot of fun too. So also have to have a digital skill as well, because you always encounters a different places, and survivor toolkits for yourself, because you're gonna be all by yourself over there, and then you have no of course the community will have you, but you have to be able to cope with all kind of the emotion running on. But of course there's a lot of fun going on, that we're gonna meet some cool people, so something nice is gonna be await for you.
Have a remote job or business in mind, and then that's the biggest thing, having income, being able to sustain yourself while you're out.
Look to people that you look up to, so find mentors, and to really be passionate about what you're doing, and to be disciplined and accountable for your actions, and to find something obviously in the digital world that can give you a source of income so you can travel freely. And in the end, it's about finding community. So as you're traveling, to find a support network like Nomad Escape or any other group that you're traveling with or to be able to really rely on, not from a dependency, but to ask for help if you need help, if you feel lonely, or if you feel like you're not going in the wrong path. It's not a one-person game, right? Even though it may feel like that as an individual nomad, it's really important to find friends that you can trust to ask for advice and ask for opinion, and to really get help when you need it and not be afraid to ask for it.
para ti que quieres convertirte en nómada digital es inténtalo, cero prejuicios de que yo no puedo, de que yo no tengo plata, de que no, porque aquí yo ni siquiera tenía dinero para entrar aquí al evento y al final las cosas se dan, entonces yo creo como que la buena energía es lo mejor que puedes mantener e intentarlo.
Like maybe define also like what kind of digital nomad you want to be, because some people like they're going like 6 months somewhere, 6 months somewhere. Some people are fully established somewhere where they really want to live, or some people are always moving. So maybe like define what's your happiness as a digital nomad, like what's the frame of your happiness.
You surround yourself with people who are in the community, and you'll learn from them and get inspired from them of what to do.
Just try, because when you have some difficulties, that's the moment where you find the best solution. So if you are not in difficulties, you cannot change yourself and you cannot evolve to where you go.
Don't give up. That would be it. Just keep trying and you'll get there.
Es desarrollar habilidades que te permiten generar ingresos en tu camino. Pueden ser 3 diferentes. Por ejemplo, puede ser una a través de hacer social media marketing, otra puede ser hacer videos y otra puede ser, por ejemplo, tocar algún instrumento y ser bueno en ese instrumento y tocar en bares, en lugares, y así también te permite ir viajando. Y lo último, usar mucho los grupos de Facebook, porque los grupos de Facebook te puedes apoyar y sostener con comunidades que te van a ayudar a encontrar datos, a encontrar buenas personas, así que solo hazlo.
Just do it, in the sense of don't wander for too long. Start living the lifestyle you want to achieve, because this is the only way you actually build it, and it's important for you to find an employment or create for yourself the job that allows you to be remote. So this is the first step. Find yourself a way to work remotely, and afterwards find the best lifestyle for digital nomads that suits you. But to sum up, just do it. The only way to live the lifestyle of your dreams is to start doing it.